in the African Union, sometimes written in English as Eswatini, and formerly and still commonly known in English as Swaziland east to west. Eswatini is one of the smallest countries in Africa. Despite this, its climate and topography are diverse, ranging from a cool and mountainous highveld to a hot and dry lowveld. The population is composed primarily of ethnic Swazis. The prevalent language is Swazi. The Swazis established their kingdom in the mid-18th century under the leadership of Ngwane III. The country and the Swazi take their names from Eswatini II, the 19th century king under whose rule Swazi territory was expanded and unified. The present boundaries were drawn up in 1881 in the midst of the scramble for Africa. After the Second Boer War, the kingdom, under the name of Swaziland, was a British protectorate from 1903 until it regained its independence on 6 September 1968. In April 2018, the official name was changed from Kingdom of Swaziland to Kingdom of Eswatini, mirroring the name commonly used in Swazi. The government is an absolute monarchy, ruled by King Eswatini III since 1986. Elections are held every 5 years to determine the House of Assembly and the Senate majority. The current constitution was adopted in 2005. Umhlanga, the reed dance held in August, September, and Inkwala, the kingship dance held in December, January, are the nation's most important events. Eswatini is a developing country and is classified as a lower middle-income economy. As a member of the Southern African Customs Union, the African Union, the Commonwealth of Nations, and the United Nations, the Swazi population faces major health issues. HIV, AIDS and tuberculosis are widespread. It is estimated that 26% of the adult population is HIV positive. As of 2018, Eswatini has the 12th lowest life expectancy in the world, at 58 years. The population of Eswatini is young, with a median age of 20.5 years and people aged 14 years or younger constituting 37.5% of the country's total population. The present population growth rate is 1.2%. Artifacts indicating human activity dating back to the early Stone Age, around 200,000 years ago, have been found in Eswatini. Prehistoric rock art paintings dating from as far back as c. 27,000 years ago, to as recent as the 19th century, can be found in various places around the country. The earliest known inhabitants of the region were Khoisan hunter-gatherers. They were largely replaced by the Nguni during the Great Bantu migrations. These peoples originated from the Great Lakes regions of Eastern and Central Africa. Evidence of agriculture and iron use dates from about the 4th century. People speaking languages ancestral to the current Sado and Nguni languages began settling no later than the 11th century. The Swazi settlers, then known as the Ngwane before entering Eswatini, had been settled on the banks of the Pongola River. Before that, they were settled in the area of the Tembe River near present-day Maputo, Mozambique. Continuing conflict with the Ndwandwe people pushed them further north, with Ngwane III establishing his capital at Eswatini at the foot of the Eswatini Hills. Under Sobhuza I, the Ngwane people eventually established their capital at Zombods in the heartland of present-day Eswatini. In this process, they conquered and incorporated the long-established clans of the country known to the Swazi as Imakhand-Zambili. Eswatini derives its name from a later king named Eswatini II. Ka Ngwane, named for Ngwane III, is an alternative name for Eswatini, the surname of whose royal house remains Khosi Dlamini. Khosi literally means king. Eswatini II was the greatest of the fighting kings of Eswatini, and he greatly extended the area of the country to twice its current size. The Imakhand-Zambili clans were initially incorporated into the kingdom with wide autonomy, often including grants of special ritual and political status. The extent of their autonomy, however, was drastically curtailed by Eswatini, who attacked and subdued some of them in the 1850s. With his power, Eswatini greatly reduced the influence of the Imakhand-Zambili while incorporating more people into his kingdom either through conquest or by giving them refuge. These later arrivals became known to the Swazis as Emafikamua. The clans who accompanied the Dlamini kings were known as the Bemzabuko or True Swazi. The autonomy of the Swazi nation was influenced by British and Dutch rule of southern Africa in the 19th and early 20th centuries. In 1881, the British government signed a convention recognizing Swazi independence despite the scramble for Africa that was taking place at the time. This independence was also recognized in the London Convention of 1884. Because of controversial land, mineral rights and other concessions, Swaziland had a triumviral administration in 1890 following the death of King Mbandzini in 1889. This government represented the British, the Dutch republics, and the Swazi people. In 1894, a conventi,